Do you have an Amazon Alexa enabled device? You can now listen to my podcast on that device. Just go to Alexa Skills, search for K-12 Education Untangled, click Enable to enable that skill, and voila! You're now able to listen to my podcast via your Alexa enabled device. Welcome to another episode of K-12 Education Untangled. My name is Dr. Kim Fields, former corporate manager turned educational researcher and advocate, and I'm the host of this podcast. I got into this space after dealing with some frustrating interactions with school educators and administrators, as well as the micro-discriminations that I faced as an African-American mom raising my two kids who were in the public school system. I really wanted to understand how teachers were trained and what the research provided about the challenges of the public education system. If you're looking to find out more about current topics in education that could affect you or your children, then you're in the right place. In today's episode, I'll be discussing the fact that despite what's portrayed on social media and broadcast media, we are all connected. The truth is, we are more alike than we are different. We were all created from one place on this earth, Africa. Over several generations, we may have migrated to all parts of the world, yet because of our genesis in the same place, we are all connected. We're connected on a number of different levels. 1, to the universe. 2, to society and to each other. 3, to family. And 4, to community. I reveal my thoughts on the importance of these connections in this episode of the podcast. Let's begin. Why is connection important? It's easy to forget our connectedness. We live in a society that emphasizes individual responsibilities and goals. But taking a moment to recognize the connectedness we all share with each other is an important part of understanding our own role in the larger narrative. Our connectedness does not begin and end within our immediate circle, but references something much bigger, our connectedness to the universe itself. Whether it be on a societal, interpersonal, or family level, or something more community-oriented, this connectedness should not be overlooked. It forms the cornerstone from which everything else follows. We can use this connectedness as a guide in shaping our lives going forward so that our actions can impact and improve upon that which exists around us today. It's amazing how connected we are to each other and the universe around us. Whether our relationship with the stars above is one of harmony that creates an energy for positive change in society, or the enthusiasm comes from being part of community, our connection to something greater than ourselves is undeniable. Our family ties encourage connectedness between generations, showing us what it means to be connected through loyalty and love. At the same time, our connectedness brings us a sense of unity with others as people come together in common causes and bond over shared values and experiences. Across time, space, and culture, connectedness is something we all have in common, unifying us while keeping us rooted in who we are. Let's think about our connection to the universe. Have you ever looked up at the sky at night and wondered just how connected we are to the universe? Deep down, we know that our lives on this earth are connected to something much bigger. It's a feeling in our bones and innate truth that we are connected to everything. Every day, every moment brings evidence that links us to this cosmos, from the rhythms of nature that follow us through each day and night to the intricate workings of our own bodies. And if we look deeper still, we can see how connected we are to things beyond what meets the eye. Energy, unconditional love and compassion, creativity, We may feel small under the stars, but remember, we're still connected. We existed before we came to Earth through humanly means. The universe is a vast connected entity, and in many ways we are connected to it too. Even if we can't physically see the infinite galaxies and stars that lie beyond our earthly vision, we can still feel connected to them because of their profound influence on us. Astronomical phenomena like eclipses have often inspired awe in humans and influenced our choices from prehistory through the present day. It's almost as if the universe is trying to tell us something, that we're connected souls traveling through this journey of life together. Our connection to the universe is deeper than we may think. We interact with the natural elements and can rely on the consistent cycles like day and night or seasons to provide a sense of stability in our lives. We're also connected to society and each other. Our lives are connected to our wider society, whether we realize it or not. Even the most introverted person is connected to something bigger, simply by living in a specific region and experiencing the same cultural events that others enjoy. We're connected to each other via the internet, which allows us instant access to what others are thinking, saying, and doing, allowing us to connect in ways unimagined even one generation ago. Being connected allows us to be heard, to share knowledge, and yes, even to make mistakes together. At its core, this connection binds us as people who care more deeply about one another, creating an even richer society than before. No matter where we are, who we are, and what we do, we're connected to society and each other. Whether we like it or not, this is an intrinsic reality of life on this planet. Only through recognizing and appreciating our connectedness can humanity reach its full potential. We all have a responsibility to ensure that this connectedness works for the benefit of everyone in society. And together, we must strive to create a connected world that upholds equality, understanding, and compassion in every aspect. Connections are everywhere, to our own society and beyond. In a society connected by technology, we might overlook the importance of connection with each other. When we think of how connected we all are as a human race, it can feel like an immense challenge, but also an important opportunity. We're connected to one another in ways that range from people living within the same city block right up to citizens on the opposite side of the planet. This connectedness gives us a chance to learn and grow together, developing a deeper understanding of ourselves and each other throughout the process. It can also be hard to remember that our connectedness comes with responsibility too. For example, if you take a moment to think about how many people have relied on your actions in life, family, friends, strangers you've interacted with, you can start to get an idea of the magnitude of the connectedness involved in being part of society. In some ways, even random acts of kindness matter. If you look closely enough, those small actions often ripple out far beyond what you'll ever know. That's the beauty of this interconnectedness that exists between all of us. No matter how mundane our daily lives may be, there's always opportunity for making things brighter for someone else. Then there's connection to family. Family is an essential part of life, and a connectedness between us is sometimes hard to accept, but it's true when it just comes down to it. Nothing or no one can replace family. Being connected to your family lets you feel secure, know that you're loved, and that you have a support system anytime you need them, for the most part. Whether through shared experiences, physical proximity across generations, or even digital connections between geographical spans, the connectedness we foster with our families shapes our identity in positive and meaningful ways. Yes, sometimes family connections can be challenging, yet our bond with our family members is immutable, no matter how near or far they may be. and serves as an accelerator for growth in any stage of life. Our families link us to countless memories. Family gives us an identity, a sense of purpose and security. From your earliest memories, their words shaped your thoughts and actions and influence your behavior. These positive or negative influences don't simply go away. They remain connected to us in some way throughout our entire lives. It's almost as though those closest to us weave these influences into the fabric of who we are. And although it may not always seem like it at first, no matter what's going on in life at any given moment, connectedness to family is one of humanity's strongest ties. Humans are connected to their families in powerful and special ways. Whether they are far or near, these threads of belonging extend between us like a web, building us and binding us to those we care about. Despite all life changes that come our way, whether location, relationships, or just the passage of time, family remains an anchor that is seldom broken. Inextricably connected, family is this precious bond that links us all together, near and far, for better or for worse. It's a beautiful affirmation of how connected we really are. And finally, connection to community. It's often said that we're connected to our communities, but do you really understand how your life is impacted by being connected? We're connected through the infrastructure of our communities, the roads, the schools, the hospitals, and more that allow us to function as a whole. Furthermore, when you build relationships with those in your neighborhoods or in our broader society, it becomes even more clear how connected we truly are. Whether these connections add up to something profound or simply equate to an understanding of one another, the fact remains that we are connected. It's these connections that can help us work together to create a better future for ourselves and for those around us. You may not always realize it, but we're all connected to our local community in some way. For example, when we attend a local event or reach out to a neighbor for assistance, we build relationships that can have far-reaching impacts. We grow stronger with each connection and ultimately make an impact in the world around us. Connecting with those near and far can create greater understanding and collaboration, inspiring us to be even more connected, both within the community and beyond. The connectedness we have to our communities is something that shouldn't be taken for granted, whether it's the physical places in which we live, work, and play, or the people with whom we interact through these spaces. Community ties lay a strong foundation for support for sustaining life. As we consider our own connectedness to our community, it's also important to reflect on how we can make sure everyone in our collectively connected world has access to the same resources so that no one falls through the cracks. It's an ideal, I know, but still one worth reaching toward. Embracing connectedness with each other helps us to create a better world together. So I'll sum this up by saying that being connected to such a fundamental part of the human experience is vital. We're connected on so many different levels, to the vast universe around us, to society, to community, and to each other. We're connected to our family members, who often remain close to our hearts, and we're connected to our communities, places full of diverse people and experiences that can enrich our lives in remarkable ways. Connecting with others allows us to grow and open ourselves up to new perspectives, leading us oftentimes down unexpected paths that make life more meaningful than it ever could be when we're alone. How connected are you? As is my usual format for these personal episodes in which I close with a quote or a clean joke, here are a couple of quotes for you to ponder. Connection is why we're here. We are hardwired to connect with others. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. And without it, there is suffering. Brené Brown. The second quote is, spirituality is recognizing and celebrating that we are all inextricably connected to each other by a power greater than all of us, and that our connection to that power and to one another is grounded in love and compassion. Practicing spirituality brings a sense of perspective, meaning, and purpose to our lives. Brené Brown. If this is the type of subject matter and discussion that resonates with you, please subscribe to my podcast on whatever service you're listening to this. Also, I'd love to hear from you, so please leave me a rating, a review, or a comment. And share this episode with anyone that you think would find it valuable. Be sure to tell your friends, family, and community about my podcast. I'd really appreciate it if you would recommend my podcast to a friend directly on Twitter and to mention my show in your tweet. Additionally, you can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook with the handle Kim J. Fields. Thanks for listening today. I hope you'll come back for more K-12 educational discussions with even more exciting topics to untangle. By the way, if you have a burning question about an issue or a specific topic that you'd like me to explore and discuss, shoot me a quick email at kim@liberationthrougheducation.com to let me know what your question is. Anyone whose question is selected to be discussed on one podcast episode will receive a $25 Amazon gift card. And be sure to stay tuned. On the next episode of my podcast, I'll be wrapping up 2022 with a personal discussion about setting goals and mastering self-efficacy as we head into the new year. Until next time, aim to learn something new every day.